Another year, another Eurobike. Now actually I did skip last year. They changed the date and the public access and stuff. I don't know why they did that, but don't think it worked. So Eurobike back to normal now. This is the very first day. I think it's like 4 days long with one public day. So this is the very first day. And being a self-confessed bike geek, I get really excited about Eurobike. I love coming in and seeing all the really cool, interesting new bike techs, random stuff from little manufacturers you never heard, and even just like really pimp stuff from the big brands. So plan is gonna go in there, see what I can find, and also potentially see if I can find any brands that might want to work with myself and see what I can do. I even got some business cards made up, can you imagine? All right, straight in the entrance, don't know which way to go. That way, or that way. Let's go this way. Some pretty cool helmet colours from Uvex. Hey, what do you reckon? Let's have a bit of a splash of colour. Nice. Hey, now here's something totally random. I know some skate parks don't allow mountain bikers in with disc brakes because they think they're going to fall and cut people. We've got Alligator, who actually have some pretty nice looking disc rotor guards. So yeah, if you guys are wanting to ride skate parks or anything like that and you're having trouble, you know, could be an option for you. So I'm just walking along and I've spotted this little thing that looks like one of the pimpest balance bike frames I've ever seen, and just randomly lying on a table. I kind of want it. I don't have kids, but I want it. Just here at the Bulls bike stand, which, you know, if you're outside Europe, Bulls is a brand that you may not have heard of, but this is one of the chunkiest e-bikes I have seen for a long time. They do seem to be quite a fan of the e-bikes at Bulls and just in Europe in general, but they also have some pretty nice looking trail bikes as well, like this one. It's still got the chunky tubes, but that's actually a pretty nice looking bike. Yeah, we need more of these in the UK. Hey guys, look what I found. It's Motion Ride, the weird linkage forks guys. Cool to see these forks at Eurobike, and it'd actually be really cool just to meet these guys. I've only ever talked to them over email, so yeah, let's go and see if we can catch up with them. So, met up with the Motion Ride guys. Good to finally meet them. I didn't realise there's only 4 people at Motion Ride who have to do absolutely everything, so it's pretty nuts that they've managed to develop such a cool fork and get it out to the market. Now I've only got 3 people here, not all of you. Oh well. But they've just shown me something really cool here. They have a load cell on here that they can basically measure how much force is coming up through the floor, and it can also tell the difference between you pushing down, so they can tell exactly what impacts are coming up through the forks and into your hands, just, you know, to make the suspension as good as they possibly can. It's really cool to see you guys using all this technology and wanting to actually, you really do care about making the best product you possibly can, which is actually really awesome. So yeah. Thanks. Okay, just at the pivot stand, and they've got their downhill bike here. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Probably one of the nicest looking downhill bikes out at the minute. I would most definitely want one of these. Speaking of downhill bikes, this is the first time I've ever seen the Polygon. This is a Square One DH9. Obviously I've seen this in the races, and yeah, it looks really cool in the flesh. Such a unique looking bike, and I actually really dig it. I really like it. I like that a lot. The same for their trail bike. Now the rear suspension is a bit Marmite. Some people love it, some people hate it. I actually don't mind the rear suspension. I think some of the front ends I've seen on some bikes have not looked the nicest, but I actually think this one with the slight kink, it suits it. The lines look really cool, and I think the whole thing as a unit looks really nice. So yeah, I really like these. They're cool. MRP fork range looking nice. So I've been using the ribbon coils, as you may or may not know, and yeah, I get on really well with them. It's really cool to see actually a longer travel downhill-y three-ride fork as well. I've seen some people use these on their enduro bikes. They just wanted something, you know, just a little bit more gravity orientated. Yeah, I think these are meant to be a little bit lighter than full-on downhill forks, but yeah, they look really cool. So So I thought this stand had completely messed up their bike and had got a massive tear, but no, that's actually a zip-on, zip-off tyre, which is actually really cool to see. I saw this online a while ago, and essentially it means you can swap your tyre without having to take off your tyre and tube and do everything that way. You can literally just zip on, zip off different treads for different abilities, which actually I think is quite a smart thing to do. So yeah, that's actually really cool. That's definitely thinking outside the box. Okay everyone, so Eurobike, big place, lots of big shiny bikes, you know, taking all the attention, but I found something here that's actually quite cool, and it's not something you'd usually think as being super innovative or just that interesting, but obviously you guys know I build a lot of wheels. You've seen my, or hopefully you've seen my wheel build tutorial. We found a really cool brand here doing some new things with spokes. So got the guys here, they're happy to explain and try and spread the word about what they're doing.
Thank you for your introduction. Those spokes are indeed the first advancement in true bladed spokes since the last 25 years. It's a totally new approach. The profile is fully ovalized. So what it does give you is not only an aero advantage, it gives you an advantage about stiffness. You have a stiffer wheel, which is more aero at the same weight as ever before, as you get used to from all your other aero spoke wheels. So it is a technical advancement, and you will definitely feel it. You will have the aero advantage on mountain biking, on downhill, as you will have it on road biking, because on the outer space of the wheel, the outer area of the wheel, the spokes travel 2 to 3 times faster than on the inner than on the inner of the hub. So what you get is a substantial aero gain out of aero spokes, always. But wing spoke will give you almost the behavior, the stiffness of a round spoke, but aero. So best of both worlds. And they're strong enough for disc brakes? Yes, you can easily see it on this heavy MTB set down here. This is the Wing 22. The wing spoke comes actually in 4 different strengths. This is the second most powerful, and this one is totally usable for all mountain, no problem, downhill, easy.
Okay, the thing is that the most aero form is the cruise missile. And this aero spoke is directly from the same form.
Oh, so like the cross
it's derived from it, yes. Really? And that's what it makes so super special. And we've been using that spoke for quite a while now, having that awesome feeling when riding it, but we didn't know why it was so great. But that's it.
Okay, maybe I'm getting broody or something, but we've got another little balance bike here. How cute is that? I'm sorry, Jane, we're going to have children just so I can get one of these and build it up. It's so awesome. Okay, I am a fan of titanium, and we have a lot of titanium here, but this stem just caught my attention. I've never seen a titanium stem like this. I've seen aluminium stems like this, where you can like easily forge them, and then I was like, how on earth do you tighten your stem? And then look at this. You've got a little slider. That is so cool. I've never seen that before in a titanium stem. I like that. Oh, I'd have one of those in a trials geometry for sure. Now my dad is a tree surgeon, and he uses Husqvarna chainsaws, and they also make bikes. They actually make really nice looking bikes. I don't know what it is about it, but I think it's just the shape coming down. I think it works, it flows nicely. That is obviously an electric bike, and as we all know, electric bikes can be pretty ugly, but no, Husqvarna have nailed it. That is a good looking machine. And they even do downhill versions. This is a downhill e-bike, which actually I think is quite a smart idea, because obviously a downhill bike is the worst bike for riding up a hill, so yeah, why not put a dropper post on it and a motor? At least then you don't have to rely on shuttles to get back to the top, and you know, downhill bikes aren't super light anyway, so yeah, ahead of the curve there maybe Husqvarna. I think, yeah, could maybe see more of these. That's a smart idea. I like that, that's nice. Award for the fanciest display goes to Bianchi, if that's how you say it. I've never seen a revolving stage for bikes at Eurobike before. That is pretty special. Bikes look pretty interesting as well. I'll have to walk around so you can see it, but yeah, e-bikes, again, slightly different take on it. Kind of looks like a stealth bomber with all the angles going on. Yeah, pretty cool. I've seen this online, and check out this crazy front end setup. Now there isn't actually a traditional fork on this thing. Instead, it just goes over the wheel a bit like a fender and then meets in the middle. This is supposedly meant to be way more aerodynamic than a standard fork, and it just looks insane. Again, I really like it when people think outside the box, and yeah, this is miles outside the box. So cool to see. Okay, I really like my light bicycle and Chris King wheel combination, but I can't walk past these and not take a look. These are the craziest wheels I've seen for a long time. They look like a starfish. I've seen this thing all over the internet. The ceramic speed alternative drivetrain. Tell you what though, I'd rather put my hands near a disc brake than that thing when it's spinning. It's like a meat tenderizer. Now Marin looking like their range is pretty sweet at the minute. Got the new Metal Vision with their added linkage or changed linkage, which I think is a nice improvement. That makes that look a little bit nicer. But that's not the only bike they've got that's pretty cool. We've got the Alpine Trail 8 as well, which is a 150mm travel rear, kind of enduro-y all-mountain bike, but it's actually such a simple looking bike. It's really nice. I think Marin's main strength at the minute is some of their more budget-oriented bikes actually looking totally on point at the minute. Really cool budget for a lot less than you can pay for some of the other brands. So yeah, a good choice if you don't want to spend big bucks. So I'm here at the Box stand, and Box have a nice alternative drivetrain system for you. But one thing I really like is the cassette. It's actually just such a cool design. I really like just the symmetrical machining they've got going on here. And actually, yeah, that is a nice big block of aluminium. They've made that look really nice. Obviously the rest of the stuff is cool as well. You've got your derailleur, and yeah, I'll actually be quite interested to try out some Box stuff.
He runs the European office of Hyper. He's in a meeting right now.
Oh.
How about this, guys? Get an automatic bike cleaner for the flat. Probably put a dog through that as well. Do you guys remember 2 years ago? Met a really cool fan. Well,
hello!
here he is again.
I am gone! Yeah, 2 years ago.
And he's still on the same bike. He's still got all our autographs on here. Check this out. There I am. And you've got a few. Oh, you've got Ricky Compton. Who's this?
And Tom.
And Tom. And then you've got.
And me.
Ah,
and me.
Ah, yeah.
And me.
Oh, that's cool, man. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, see you.
Okay, we've come along to the Nikolai Bikes booth, and if you don't know Nikolai Bikes, they have a lot of really pimp CNC frame stuff and some absolutely crazy gearbox belt-driven bikes as well. Now, the main thing for me about Nikolai is their welds are actually just amazing. I've never seen welds as big as chunky as I've seen on Nikolai bikes. It's so nice. Okay guys, we have the new Trust Shout forks here, and yeah, these are basically the longer travel versions of the message forks that I've been running. I expected a longer travel version would look loads different, but actually it looks very similar. It'd be hard to tell the difference between the two, but after riding my message forks with 130mm travel, I definitely thought a longer travel version would be amazing, so I'm actually really stoked to see that they've gone and done it. Definitely would love to have a try on a pair of these. First ever tyre I ever bought was an IRC Cujo. And it's cool to see IRC are still going strong, and I'll tell you what guys, I want a red sidewall. Brings back so many memories. I'm not sure if it would suit my bike, but I still want it. A red sidewall looks so cool. Tell you what guys, my wheel building tutorials would be a lot different if I had one of these.
Back to the Eurobike again, I think for my 9th year in a row, so yeah, doing good. My connection with Bike 10 goes a long way back. I've been riding them for about 10 years.
So just come over to the Tioga stand. So they've got some pretty cool looking like small seats, could be quite a nice option for street trials. And then you've got this one. I'm not sure quite what's going on with this one. Might be like this one inside. That's the weirdest saddle I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so I've come to the Hayes stand, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but Hayes have some new brakes. So we've got the Minion brake here, and this is not going to translate over on video, but if you guys get the opportunity to try and pull one of these brakes, I've never felt a brake that is as easy to pull as that. It's like, yeah, I just cannot get this across. That is the lightest feeling lever I have ever felt in my life. And I'm thinking, because you know I get a lot of arm pump, I'm thinking whether or not having a brake that's dead easy to pull could be a good option. So I'm actually pretty keen to try these out. One thing I really like about these as well is these grub screws in the caliper here. Basically you can dial in exactly where your caliper is going to be to try and straighten it up on the rotor. You don't need to, you know, pinch the bolt and move the caliper and then have it move. You literally tighten it up so your pads are set straight, and then tighten the bolts up and you're good to go. So yeah, I'm actually really keen to try these brakes. Plus they claim they have the highest clamping power of any brake out there, especially we've got the 4-pot versions as well. So yeah, I might see about getting a pair of these for my mountain bike.
Yeah, this is they don't own it. They do not want it. Yeah. Don't need it, and she said it's not in there. So it is how we work.
Was mal willst.
Okay everyone, bit of an abrupt end. I'm now back home, back in Glasgow, and that was Eurobike. It's really cool to go back there after missing out last year. Really cool to see all the new bike tech. I hope you liked all the stuff I found and filmed. That was the first time I've checked the footage, and yeah, the audio wasn't great, so sorry about that. The ambient noise was just so high and the microphone wasn't pointing at my face, so yeah, it's a bit hard to get my voice clear, so hope you still enjoyed it. I ended up having some pretty good meetings with some brands, so I just need to send out some proposals now, and fingers crossed I can get a bit of help for next year. If you didn't see my last video, then please check out my new website, aliclarkson.com. I have new merchandise on there, t-shirts, mugs, hats, stuff like that. I'd love it if you guys went and checked it out, and if you want to support the channel and get cool t-shirts, then you can do it there. I'm also going to say a massive thanks to my Patreon followers as well. You guys really honestly do help keep this channel going, so yeah, big thanks to you guys. Now next week's video is going to be a little bit different. I got an invitation to go to an event I've never been to before, but I've wanted to, so yeah, I'm going. It should be pretty awesome, and I will try my best to document it as best as I can, and yeah, keep an eye out for that. But until then, hope you all manage to get out, ride your bikes, have fun, and I'll see you next week. So thanks for watching. See you later.